Additional updates on the Pact of the Future. The Pact of the Future builds on Interim People's Pact, which was developed in March 2023. From the 9th to 10th of May 2024, the UN Civil Society Conference happened in Nairobi. I'm one of the people who attended in this conference. That is where the Pact of the Future was finalized. A few observations from the Pact of the Future, which was enacted by the UN General Assembly. First, Chapter 1 talks about sustainable development. They are calling for the establishment of an international court for the environment, ICE. This will be the central forum for environmental law disputes. Second, Chapter 2, the international peace and security. They are proposing reform of the United Nations Security Council, strengthening ICJ, reducing nuclear risk, and also equipping the United Nations with a dedicated deployment capacity to quell armed conflicts around the world. Chapter 4. Chapter 3 talks about science, technology, and innovation. Of course, accessing internet for everyone around the world, in schools, hospitals, and everywhere else. Chapter 4. Children, young people. That is the future generations. Also, children, meaningful engagement in decision making. From the meeting which happened on 9th and 10th of May 2024, I was impressed to see children in those UN meetings. They were being consulted about their future, and that was impressive. They should keep doing that. Children should be involved in issues which affect them directly. That I support. It is going to happen. Now the Pact of the Future provides for that. That is engaging young people, and more especially children, in decision making on issues affecting them. There is also codifying the rights of the future generations, and that would happen through creating a special envoy for the future generations, a council for the future generations, and future generations fund. So there would be a fund for future generations. There would be a council for future generations and a special envoy. Their work will be thinking about future generations. I know you watching this video, probably you have thought about your future generations. You have put in place, for example, resources, land, money for future generations. That is possible if you are rich. For poor, mostly poor people are thinking about how do we put food on our table? How do we have shelter? How do we have clothing? But the rich people, some of them have made money which can serve future generations in their lineage. Chapter 5 of the Pact of the Future talks about transforming global governance. They have included reforming United Nations Security Council and the United Nations General Assembly. From the ongoing discussions in New York, some presidents or the heads of government have called for reforming UN Security Council. There are only 15 members. 5 of them are permanent members. They have veto powers. The other 10 can be replaced after their period elapses. So there is need to reform how the UN Security Council works. Under Chapter 5, they are calling for establishment of new institutions such as International Anti-Corruption Court. So in the near future, we shall see the establishment of International Anti-Corruption Court so that they chase around people who are corrupt, people who are stealing public money, they should be taken to the International Anti-Corruption Court. If we find a president cannot be sued here in Kenya because he's too powerful, he can be taken to the International Anti-Corruption Court. There is also establishment of the UN G20, the UN G20 Plus Summit on Global Economy. This will be a forum for regular exchange on major economic priorities so that they discuss the economy at that stage. The UN G20 Plus Summit. The UN G20 Plus will be also, this is a place where they can have universal policy alignment and implementation. The Pact of the Future also points out to the fact that most governments around the world allocate over $2 trillion every year towards their militaries. This diverts precious resources to destructive ends, while programs of peace, climate protection, education remain severely underfunded. We can underfund education. For example, in Kenya, we don't put enough money for research at the university. So you find lecturers only teaching. They go to class, they teach, they go home. Most of them don't conduct research. But if government can allocate more resources for research for our public universities and even colleges, we will see new innovations coming up. But you find at the same time, security is better funded than research in a country. So we are focusing on wars, we are focusing on violence, maintaining the monopoly of violence for government, and this has a negative impact on the future generations. They will come and find we only have serious weapons. We have war planes, war jets, but dilapidated universities where they are supposed to gain knowledge. There are no books in libraries. There are no hostels where they can stay while they are undertaking their studies. They have no food to eat while they are in colleges. That is because of the decisions we make now. They will have an impact on future generations. Thank you very much for tuning in to Kerosi TV. If you are new here, please subscribe and feel at home. See you in the next episode.